Simon from simonwoods.com. Well, it's a beautiful sunny day here. It's not quite getting into that time when you put the clocks forward, but they're going forward tomorrow, so you know exactly what day it is from that. I can't remember, March 18th, something like that. Anyway, it's Red Nose Day, and I haven't got red wines today, I've got pink wines. 3 from France, 1 from Australia, 1 from Argentina. Let's, without any further ado, set into Louis Jadot Beaujolais Rosé. No, there's not all that much Beaujolais Rosé made. I mean, there's a bit of white wine made from Chardonnay, obviously lots of red wine made from Gamay, but they also use the Gamay grape to make a bit of rosé, and Jadot's been doing this for, maybe this is 3rd or 4th vintage. It smells clean and crunchy and fresh and juicy, like someone's crushed strawberries into a pan, added a little bit of sugar, cooked it for about 20 seconds, and you're getting those ever so slightly cooked fruit aromas coming up. Smells like it's going to be nice and fresh though. 2008, holding up very nicely from the smell of it. Pretty nice wine. It's got that red fruit edge, but it's also got something like a green apple freshness to it. Keeps it fresh, keeps it tangy. Maybe some people would find that little bit of acidity that you get on the finish a little tart, but hey, we all like a little tart from every now and then. But so have it with food. Maybe not one of those sit and what I call a desperate housewives wine. Yeah, have it with some early picnics, the first picnics of the year. Maybe if you're brave enough, even barbecues, because it's got quite a lot of nice grungy, crunchy fruit to it. Let's see whether the next one's the same. So that was Burgundian Rosé. We've now got Bordeaux Rosé. Le Rosé de l'Assis Ducasse, which is a eminent chateau in Bordeaux. Let's see what their rosé is like. Probably blend here, mostly Merlot, bit of Cabernet Franc, bit of Cabernet Sauvignon. But I am probably wrong. It might have more Cabernet Sauvignon in, but who can tell? It's got nice, gentle red fruit softness. Doesn't feel like it's going to be as zingy quite as the Jadot was, but it smells like it's going to be nice and soft and easy drinking. So maybe this would be the one to have by itself. Let's see. It's not quite as classy wine as the Jadot. It's a bit more expensive as well. It's got juiciness, it's got fruit. What I like about the Jadot, it's got a little bit more zap and zing, and that little punchiness that I want in a rosé. This maybe it's a more serious rosé. Maybe this is sort of bring it out with the lunchtime, Sunday lunch roast lamb. No, actually roast the lamb on the Saturday and have cold lamb sandwiches for a impromptu Sunday snack. Still a nice wine, and dry, fresh. It's got this juiciness to it, and actually it's growing on me. That might end up preferring that to the Jadot. You never know. The Jadot's the one that sort of gets you to start with. That one climbs out of its glass rather than jumps out. Okay, we are in warmer bits of France now. Côte de Roussillon with Mas Janet from François Lurton. So, I'm not sure, does it say the grapes on here? A lot of Grenache and Syrah and Grenache Gris. Oh. Well, this smells richer all round. It's got a headiness, and if there was an ever so slightly cooked red fruit character in the first one, certainly in the Jadot, then here it's got a bit more of that rich strawberry, but strawberry pie character. And you can tell it's come from a warmer plate. It's fuller bodied. 2% more alcohol than the Jadot. Don't know what's the l'Assis Ducasse. So it goes 12%, 13%, 14% here. And riper fruit. So yes, it's got that red berry character, but it's also got plumminess. And yeah, it's, I mean, really nice set of 3 different wines, all for different occasions. Yeah, picnic. Maybe this one's a barbecue one, and yeah, the middle one cold lamb sandwiches. Cold lamb's a bit funny because you get, I mean, the fat that you get on cold lamb has a particular character which some people like. I like a little bit of it, but too much, and it's got this weird gritty texture. Next one, we are in Southern Hemisphere now. McLaren Vale Shiraz Rosé Paxton, 2009. Sorry, people who've sent these to me. I should probably have tasted these a few months ago, but I just ended up with a huge backlog, and I'm getting through them now. Now you think Australia's going to be the one with a high alcohol. Actually, the alcohol level here is the lowest that we've had so far, 11.5%. But when I smell it, I think I can see why. I think they've left a little bit of sweetness in there and not fermented all the sugar out, because it smells like the fruit there is very juicy and ripe. Again, strawberries, plums, that type of yeah, bold red fruit character. Yes, there is a bit of sweetness there, but not too much. The other thing I like about it is that they've picked it, they've not let it get too ripe and then have to stop the fermentation when there's a load of sugar in there. And what's happened is left with a slightly, ever so slightly refreshing green earthy edge. I'd have been half pushed to say this was Syrah rather than Grenache or other things that they use for rosé there, but there is this this nice mixture of richness, but with this green earthiness to counterbalance it, and there is acidity there. Yeah, I'm not usually a huge rosé fan, but these I went to the Marks and Spencer's tasting yesterday, and they had a good. The rosés for me was one of the sections that really stood out, and these I'm really enjoying. I think what happened is the rosé bandwagon probably started in earnest about 8 years ago, and for the first there were lots of people jumping on that bandwagon. It's slightly slowed down in the last couple of years, and the rosés that you're left with, well, two things. Now people don't feel as forced to get them out there as soon as possible. Also, the producers have got a bit more used to making rosés, and these wines are more grown up than maybe the rosés that you'd have had 2 or 3 years ago. Let's see whether the last one's a grown up wine. Vignalba. I think it's Malbec. Does it say Malbec? It doesn't say on the... Oh. Anyway, it's from Mendoza. So I imagine there'll be quite a bit of Malbec in there. Maybe some of the... some Cabernet and Merlot. We shall see. Actually, we might not be able to see. Might smell of Gewürztraminer. Who can tell? Well, it's the youngest wine, and we're back up to 14% alcohol. Stick my nose in there, and it feels really quite tight and closed. Interesting that we're in March now. I think that come the summer months in the UK, well, the Northern Hemisphere, this feels like it's got a bit of unwinding still to do. I notice, again, a bit of red fruit, a bit of apple in there too. Well, I like its juicy richness. There's an ever so slightly hard, harsh edge there. Not sure whether that will calm down over the next few months. Doesn't for me feel as exciting and vibrant as some of the older wines, which is strange. Simple's the wrong word, but it feels maybe one of the more simple of this lot. Yeah, simple is the right word. I'll use simple because you understand simple. I'm called Simple Simon. I think what puts me off it is, whoops, he said dribbling down his chin, is there's a slight medicinal note there. So whereas I like that juicy round apple and red berry flavour, just something on the back that makes me think, not my favourite, but it's not my favourite of a pretty decent set of rosés. So maybe I'll be drinking more rosé this year than I did last year. How about you? See you soon.